Alright, today we're going to be doing a tying tutorial on a rendition of the double bunny, originally invented by Scott Sanchez, called an Ode to the Double Bunny. If you guys watch our last vlog, I will link that up below. You know that Paul wrote a poem called an Ode to the Double Bunny about 10 years ago, or whenever it was that we were in high school. And so this fly is named after that. We're doing it in a bunch of colors. Definitely targeting smallmouth, and I'm sure trout will eat this, of course, but really had smallmouth in mind when we invented this, so it's kind of after that brown craw color. We're doing it in a kind of a dark green backed color here. Brown craw, another variation of the brown craw, but all brown, and then like a chartreusey olive green color. So we are going to, they're all the same silhouette. I'm just going to tie it in one of the colors. Yeah. Okay, we're using an S506 Umpqua 60 degree. There's a black finish on it, heavy wire hook. And then where's my bobbin? There it is. Using a 210 fire orange thread. Okay, we're using a 7/32 Spirit River reel eyes, or basically any dumbbell eye as long as it's heavy enough. Okay, I glue it in at this point just so it has extra Zap-A-Gap. I just make sure that the ooh, my Zap-A-Gaps, might have left that open last night. Ooh, there we go. Just to make sure that the dumbbell eyes don't roll over. And then hit it with zip kicker so you can keep tying. Okay, then we're using 4 strands of this Cascade Crest Flash. Just fold it in half. Wind that to the back. Let's see, does this light help? Maybe? Okay. So you got your flash hanging out the back. Let's do a silver and chartreuse. Since on Instagram, that's what everybody voted as their favorite color. Okay, and we use about like 3.5 to 4 inches. It's better to make it a little bit longer because you can always make them shorter at the end. Kind of measure where your tie-in point's going to be at the front. And I just put 2 wraps behind at the back to keep it in place. Like that. And we're going to fold this up, secure it on with a couple wraps. And we're going to put puller chenille on. I don't remember what color this is, but I think it's, you know, pearl or whatever. Some UV color. Use different colors for different color rabbit strips. Then we're just going to palmer that towards the front. Tie it off twice. Alright, then we're going to pull the rabbit strip over the top of that. Just need 1 wrap to keep it in place there. Make sure all those little fibers are not in the way. And then to keep your head, the front of your head clean, you don't need this section to go all the way to the end, so I usually just chop off like, don't chop it off too much, and if you do chop it off too much, this leather actually does stretch quite a bit, so you can pull it, usually can pull it tight enough to still get your thread around it. But just to keep the front of the head nice and clean, you don't want too much extra material up there, but you want enough to make sure you can tie the material on really solid. Especially since this is a jig hook, it's easy for the thread to want to slip over towards the front. If you guys have tied on jig hooks, I'm sure you've had that problem. All right. Now we're going to add our other color rabbit strip. So I just kind of, when I'm tying a lot of these, I pre-cut all these and measure them, but we're not doing that right now. So about there. Okay. Then we just kind of, again, lay it where we think it's going to end up on the hook. And then I just pinch it with my index finger, so I remember where that spot's at. All right, and then we just poke the hook dead center, slip that down. And what you can do at this point, but I don't do anymore because I don't think it matters, is you can take tear mender and apply it right here. The reason I don't do it anymore is because if you don't do it just right, it gets tear mender all over the rabbit strip, and then the rabbit strip doesn't move as well. Okay, so again at the front, you don't want too much extra material hanging off. That's about right there. It's being a pain. All right, there we go. And just build up the head so that it covers all the material. Okay, that looks good. I'm gonna backwind a few because I don't want extra thread wraps really on the head. And that way I have room for my whip finish. Cut it off there. And then what we've been doing is we've been using UV clear loon fly finish. I know there's a few other products out there, and it's much better if you have an applicator bottle than what I'm about to do. I'm just going to brush it on, but applicator bottle, you can get a lot nicer, cleaner head if you just use an applicator bottle. You don't need a thick coat, just a thin coat. And that's not perfect, but that'll work. And then just light it up with your UV light. Should be good. Okay, then kind of the final step here is, since we have those now 8 pieces of flash hanging out the back, I separate them 4 and 4. So there's 2, 3, 4 hanging out on this side. And I just pull them kind of tight to the left and to the right, and there's 4 hanging out on this side, so that they're hanging out both sides like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to lay a line of tear mender right down this rabbit strip and then push them together. And tear mender is also better if you use an applicator bottle, and again, I don't have one. So if you don't use the applicator bottle, all I would say, warn you against, is tear mender comes out of the bottle really fast. This is tear mender, in case you guys aren't familiar with it. You can get a huge bottle at most hardware stores. I got mine at North 40, a giant bottle. I think it was around $8 or something. And you want a good little bead right at the beginning, because that's what's going to hold the beginning of your rabbit strip together. And then just a really thin line like that all the way down. And then you just push this against it. And pretty much instantly, I kind of give it a little push, press together afterwards. You almost don't need to. It's almost instantly put together. So got that. And then one step that I do copy, pretty much, oops, I had that big piece of tear mender bottle on it. So that's kind of what it looks like so far. The one last step that I do, this one's a little bit long, and that's okay. It's better to make them long than too short, because you can always cut them shorter. But the one thing Scott Sanchez always has done is he tapers the back. So we're just gonna do that. You just kind of pull these fibers close and then just give the back, basically like inch of the fly, a taper. And when the fly's all big and bushy like this before it's gotten wet, you know, it's harder to tell, but you can definitely tell a lot more once the fly has been fished. So That's the ode to the double bunny. All right, thank you so much for watching the fly tying tutorial on the ode to the double bunny. If you guys have any questions on the pattern, feel free to ask those questions in the comments section. We'll do our best to quickly answer them for you. If you're not a tyer and you just think the pattern's cool and you want to check it out and try fishing it, we are going to have 6 colors on the site, I think, this week. So we'll put that link in the description below as soon as it is up for you all to check out. Yeah, subscribe to our channel. We would greatly appreciate it. And we will have more tutorials and video content coming soon.